Have you ever been to a carnival funhouse? You know, the kind with those wavy, distorted mirrors that make you look tall and skinny, then short and squat. It's all laughs and silly pictures, right? That's what I thought too. I always loved them as a kid. The last one I went to, well, let's just say it cured me of that love forever. It was late, one of those dusky summer evenings where the carnival lights seem extra bright against the darkening sky. The air was thick with the smell of popcorn and diesel from the generators. I saw the sign, the grand labyrinth of reflections, flickering with old, tired bulbs. It looked cheap, but I was bored, so I paid the $5 and stepped inside. The entrance was a narrow hallway lined with those classic funhouse mirrors. I saw 100 versions of myself, a giant with a pinhead, a man whose legs were impossibly short, another whose torso twisted like a corkscrew. I chuckled, took a few silly photos on my phone, and pushed deeper into the maze. The music from the carousel outside started to fade, replaced by a low, humming sound that seemed to vibrate through the floor. The corridors grew tighter. The mirrors were no longer distorted, they were just normal, perfectly flat, reflecting the dim-colored light strung along the ceiling. It became a true maze. Every turn looked the same. Me, and a dozen reflections of me, staring back from every angle. It was disorienting. Left turn, dead end. Right turn, another hallway of mirrors. I started to feel a little claustrophobic. The air was still and warm. It felt like the walls were closing in, even though I knew it was just an illusion. I kept telling myself, just keep one hand on the wall, you'll find your way out. But every wall was a cold, smooth sheet of glass. I was getting turned around, seeing my own increasingly anxious face staring back at me from the front, the side, the back. It was unnerving. I tried to call out, but the sound was flat, swallowed by the endless glass. My own reflection was my only company, and honestly, I was getting sick of looking at him. After what felt like an eternity, I stumbled into a larger, circular room. This had to be the center. Mirrors surrounded me on all sides, creating an infinite, dizzying panorama of myself. I stopped to catch my breath, leaning forward with my hands on my knees. I was tired, frustrated, and a little spooked. I just wanted out. I straightened up and looked at my reflection directly in front of me, and that's when it happened. I stood up straight, but he didn't. My reflection stayed bent over for a split second longer before slowly, deliberately, straightening his back. I froze. My heart hammered against my ribs. It had to be a trick of the light, a warp in the glass. I blinked hard, trying to reset my vision. I raised my right hand, slowly. For a terrifying moment, my reflection did nothing. He just stared at me. Then, he mirrored the action, but it was sluggish, delayed, like a bad video call connection. A cold dread, sharp and icy, crept up my spine. I lowered my hand. He lowered his. I took a shaky step back. He stayed perfectly still. We stared at each other across the 3 feet of empty space. My own face, but not my own. The eyes were the same. The hair, the worried expression. But there was something else in his gaze, a flicker of intelligence, malice. I couldn't tell. My breath hitched in my throat. Then, it smiled. It wasn't my smile. It was a slow, wide, unnatural grin that didn't reach the eyes, a predator's smile. My face was frozen in terror, but his was alight with a horrifying, silent glee. The hum in the room seemed to get louder, and then he started walking. He didn't step back, or to the side. He took a step forward. Toward me, his foot passed through the surface of the mirror as if it were water. The glass rippling around his leg. He was coming out. That thing wearing my face was stepping out of the mirror and into the room with me. I finally found my voice and screamed, a raw, ragged sound that was swallowed by the labyrinth. I turned to run, but everywhere I looked, in every single mirror surrounding me, 1,000 identical figures were smiling that same terrible smile, and they were all stepping out. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoy stories that get under your skin, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss what is coming next. Stay safe out there.